Alright, here we go. Welcome to D&DGreentext. First post. Let's do this. You see a warehouse in the distance.
Is that like a werewolf, but instead of a wolf, they turn into a house?
Frantically writing down stats. It is now. Oh yeah, for this episode, I'm trying something new where I don't pitch up the Daxon voice. So we'll see if we like that or not. And maybe I'll just stop pitching it up. We'll see.
Centaurs can let medium creatures ride on them. Centaurs are also medium creatures. Time to play an all-centaur party that stacks up into Voltron.
Okay. Being a DM in D&D, where's some good puzzles for toddlers? At help, I can't think of a URL. Well, that's some rude attitude, OP. I apologize for lashing out. One of my players threw themselves in acid after they were fully aware it was, in fact, acid. I did not and still do not know how to deal with that.
Get rid of the giggles. Alright, here we go. Oh man, I'm clipping the mic. Okay. In the very first D&D game that I ever played, our party was standing right outside the entrance to a dungeon. Part of the area was covered in a red energy field. Inside the red energy field, all of the grass was dead. And right on the border between this area, inside the energy field and outside of it, was a collection of dead animals, insects, and other forest creatures. As we watched, a little bunny came hopping up, hopped into the red energy field, and the moment it entered the field, instantly dropped dead. Guess what one of our players decided to do next? Take a wild fucking guess.
Oh man. A nice cross post from white people Twitter. So we played D&D with my 11-year-old cousin yesterday, and it was his first proper session. He had really bad luck with his dice rolls, and his elf just died. After a solemn pause looking over his character sheet, he writes Junior next to his name and proclaims, "I am here to avenge my father." God, I love this subreddit.
BDM. Player brings his kid to the game. Ask if kid can learn how to play D&D with us for a bit. I agree, but only if the kid behaves. Game starts and I have the kid sitting next to me, his mother on the other side. Kid and I are the only ones who can see behind the screen. I run the game as normal, explaining rules to the kid as we go along. When basics are explained, give kid an NPC to talk to the group with. Kid is awkward at roleplay, but does a good job. Everyone plays along except for that guy. Edgy rogue tries to choke guard in broad daylight to make things move faster. Fails miserably, resulting in a squad of guardsmen in guardhouse coming out. Fighting ensues. Give kid control of his guard captain. Gives orders to his men and proceeds to tactics the shit out of the party. Party leader tries to talk things down, explains what happened. I'm about to let them off with a fine, but kid sees my notes and announces that assaulting an officer is punishable by death. Points to that guy and says that only he needs to die. Childishly evil smile.jpg. My face when I can blame the death of a PC that I have been trying to kill on a kid. My face when that guy rage quits the game and we replace him with the kid. My face when kid makes a min-maxed wizard build, because he is an awesome kid.
Interestingly enough, in all the time I've played D&D, I've never actually played a wizard. I know my first game was a rogue. Then we did some other less conventional stuff, but I've also played a druid. So that was fun. Had one round, and I've posted about this to Twitter, I think, a long time ago, where we were where the the party was trying to be stealthy when entering a chamber, and what happened was basically all of us got low stealth rolls, and it was amazing. I'm sorry, but I have to share this or I will die. New guy's joining the campaign. He hits me up and asks what classes are already taken. All the usual slots are taken care of. He doesn't know what to be. Suggests he play an uncommon class and just have fun. I list off some classes. We're in Pathfinder. He asks me what a skald is. It's like a really aggressive bard. Huh, okay, I'll go with that. A week later, he shows up and we introduce him into the narrative. I'm a ripped black human riddled with tattoos and sporting a short beard. Campaign goes on. First combat encounter. Get to his turn. Alright, what do you want to do, Anon? I'd like to start a raging song. Okay, add the mod. 66654! Whenever it got back to his turn, he'd sing a whole verse. He sang the entire song without ever looking up the lyrics. I have found peace. I told them there was a flask full of deadly poison on a shelf. They laughed and asked how they knew it was a poison, and I said, "Oh right, never mind then, just a flask." And one of them went and drank it. A realistic female warrior approaches. What do? I bow to her as a sign of respect.
I raise my sword in her honor.
I challenge her to a duel to test her mettle.
I yell, "I love mine, let me have a go, Gash!" God.
What's the most, messed up evil thing your characters have ever had to do?
Killed the paladin who was hunting me and then reanimated her corpse to kill our friends. She was reanimated with an intelligence score, so had her memories, and fully understood what she was doing. I am neutral evil, so wasn't necessary or anything, she was just ruining my plans.
Make a bear character in D&D 3.5. DM laughs. Make bear a rogue. Put every point I can into disguise. Prestige class as a spy to get more disguise. DM says I can't speak English. Max out bluff. By growling and gesturing, I can fake speaking a language I don't speak. English. Use money to hire a butler NPC. Give him a magical item to let him speak bear. An excellent suggestion, Mr. Barrington. We should really ask the group to investigate the Black Marsh. Over the course of the game, be knighted as Sir Barrington. Queen holds a dinner in my honor. A guest becomes the first man to ever make a perception check that can beat my disguise. Shouts out loud, "Hey, that guy's not a guy, he's just a bear!" Man is escorted out of the castle while the guards apologize profusely for the indignity. "We're so sorry, Sir Barrington. Very sorry for this man's behavior." Roar. Shrug.
Players lost in ruin trying to evade a Medusa, but they've lost track of her. Where is she? I don't know, let me check. I peek around the corner and roll spot. Are you sure you want to? 19! Booyah! Plus 12 is 31. What do I see? Well, what everyone else sees is you look around the corner and turn to stone.
Fucking hell. Eesh. The Warlocks have unionized to collectively increase their bargaining power versus their patron.
Be me, Warlock. Have friends who are also Warlocks. We're all devoted to the same patron. Decide to make a union. We gain more power as a result. Feelsgoodman.jpg. Decide to build an underground hideout as a sanctuary for the union. Word travels all throughout the kingdom. We gain more and more potential brothers and sisters to the union. Union becomes a thriving underground community. It was easy living until a group of adventurers burst in. They start slaughtering everyone in the Union. You can hear them screaming about how we're all devil worshippers, and then it dawns on me. My face when we're a cult.
Cults are just Warlock unions. Change my mind. Players are clearing a bandit lair, going through room by room, dropping guys SWAT style after reaching the door. After the first room, they cause too much noise. The canteen next door has gone totally silent. Peek under the door to see they're overturned the tables and have crossbows ready. Decide to breach from two separate locations and take them by surprise. Elf fighter goes to kitchen door. Human cleric and rogue prepare to breach main corridor door. Realize they don't have a way of making sure their breaches are in unison. Players come up with an idea to count to 60, then breach. Make players close their eyes. All count to 60 in their heads. Raise hands when they think they're at 60. We'll give the flanking elf a surprise round if they are successful. What follows is an intense 60 seconds. Players are all deathly silent, trying to count as best they can without being distraction. And they do it. All raise their hands within a few seconds of each other. Encounter goes fantastically thanks to the surprise round. And players really enjoy this way of dealing with it and want more of it in the future. How often have you made your players do things on a meta level outside of the rules of the game to help stuff inside of it? That is really neat. I think I've talked about this before, but I'm not sure if I've talked about it in a video. For a campaign I was trying to run that ended up not really going anywhere just because new DM, not very experienced, I had an encounter where I had a group of 4 druids. I forget what the name of the spell. They cast a spell where it's like you can summon... I know the specifications of it. You can summon like 8 really low challenge rating monsters, and then it goes like 4 of the next, 2 of the next, and 1 of this kind. Use it to like, God, and I have a Google Doc of it too. I just forget what it's called. I had 4 druids use conjure animals, and I essentially had a giant pack of wolves send after my party. And what happened was, it was essentially just they have to run away from it. And 2 things came out of that. I essentially had them defeat a bunch of the wolves by throwing hamburgers at the animals to distract them. Now, if it weren't for the fact that one of the PCs almost died in this encounter, which is the only threat they ever felt in that campaign, because new DM, not that experienced, I essentially had them beat it by either taking out the wolves like that or throwing hamburgers, which was a combination of, I believe, the half-orc, half-gnoll, and the, I forget what the other PC was, but I believe he was a cleric, yeeting hamburgers off of her back, which was pretty entertaining.
I check for traps.
Player rolls dice.
You don't find anything. I check again. Player rolls dice. You think back to that barmaid whose Arcia pinched last night in the tavern and remember she had an unusually strong jawline for a woman.
DM tells us there's a group of goblins worshipping a golden tablet we need for a quest. I come up with the idea to turn one of us invisible, hold the tablet, and tell them that their god has come. The only one who knows goblin is our 6'8 barbarian with an intelligence of 7. Dude can't even count on his fingers. He rolls high enough to convince them. He tells them that they must sacrifice themselves for him. Nat 20. All 29 goblins line up as the shaman decapitates them all. He keeps the shaman as a pet. Social media links in the description. This subreddit is amazing. Peace.